Welcome to Oryx Learning. Today's lesson is on Unit 2, Solving Equations in One Variable. Lesson 2, Solve two-step equations with rational coefficients. Hazim, his brother, and their mother went to the movie theater. His mother bought 2 large containers of popcorn to share, and each a soda. She spent a total of $9 on the snacks. Hazim does not want to share and wants to buy his own popcorn, but does not know if he has enough money. He knows a soda cost $1 and was wondering how much a container of popcorn cost. Hazim can calculate how much a container of popcorn cost by creating a model of the problem. He knows that $9 was spent in total and that each soda cost $1. So we can place $1 on each of the sodas, leaving us with $6 total. After Hazim's mother purchased the sodas, she had $6 left. She had to buy 2 containers of popcorn, meaning that each bag of popcorn, each container of popcorn, was $3. Hazim used a 2-step process to solve his problem. First, he calculated how much money was left over after buying the sodas. Second, he calculated how much each container of popcorn would cost. In algebra, this is called a 2-step equation because it contains 2 operations. 2-step equations are solved by working the order of operations backwards. Hazim did not actually use the snack containers or real money to create the model to solve his problem. He drew the model using paper and pencil. Each bag of popcorn was represented with X. There was 2 bags, so he had 2 X's. He knew that the drinks cost a total of $3, $1 each, and that the total was $9. He knew if his mother started with $9 and spent $3 on soda, he would have $6 left for the 2 containers of popcorn. If the bags of popcorn cost the same amount, that $6 would be split up so that each bag of popcorn would cost $3. So the bag of popcorn, X, would equal $3. There are many ways to model problems in order to solve them. This is how Hazim's problem would be modeled using algebra tiles. Algebra tiles are a tool that can be used to help solve algebraic equations. The containers of popcorn would be represented with the green rectangles, which we call X. There's 2 bags of popcorn, so 2 rectangles, 2 green rectangles, plus the $3 that were spent on soda. All $3 would be represented the same as a gold square, so there's 3 different gold squares, and that would be equal to the total amount of money that his mother had, the $9 or 9 gold squares. If we let X equal the price of 1 container of popcorn, then we get the equation 2X plus 3, the $3, equals 9, the $9 that he had total. Solving with the algebra tiles, we can subtract 3 tiles off from each side, leaving us with the 2 green rectangles, 2X, equal to the 6 gold squares that are left over, so 2X equals 6. If we divide the gold squares up evenly, there will be 3 for each rectangle. In the equation, we can divide both sides of the equation by 2 to see that X equals 3. So the green rectangle equals 3 gold squares, or in the equation, X equals 3. So there's multiple ways to solve these problems, either algebraically, with an equation, or with algebra tiles. Use algebra tiles to solve for 3x minus 4 equals 2. So if we have 3 x's, the x's will represent again with the green rectangles, minus 4, which will represent with these red squares, the negative 1, equals 2, which will represent with the gold squares. I can add 4 of the gold squares to both sides of the equation, leaving me with 3x, 3 of the green rectangles, equal to 6 on the other side, 6 of the golden squares. If I break them up evenly, that will leave me 2 squares for each rectangle. So x equals 2. Properties of equality. Properties are statements that are true for any number. The addition property of equality states that if x equals y, then x plus z equals y plus z. The subtraction property of equality states that if x equals y, then x minus z equals y minus z. The multiplication property of equality states that if x equals y, then x times z equals y times z. And the division property of equality states if x equals y, then x divided by z equals y divided by z. True or false? Is the given value for the variable a solution to the equation? And remember, a solution to an equation is the value of the variable that makes the statement true. So if our equation is 4x minus 3 equals 17, we want to know if x equals 7 over 2 makes it a true statement. So I can substitute in the 7 over 2 in for the x. So I take the x out, place the 7 over 2 in, substitute it in, and then I simplify from there. So 7 over 2 times 4 is 14. So 14 minus 3 equals 17. Well, 14 minus 3 equals 11, and 11 does not equal 17. Therefore, it is false. It is not a solution to the equation. Solve the equation. Negative 7j minus 2 equals negative 37. Our addition property of equality states that we can add 2 to both sides of the equation, leaving me with negative 7j plus 0 equals negative 35, or just negative 7j equals negative 35. Using the division property of equality, we can divide both sides of the equation by negative 7. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1. So I have 1j on the left. Negative 35 divided by negative 7 is 5. So j equals 5. If you want to check your work, we can substitute the solution back into the equation and make sure that it gives us a true statement. So negative 7 times 5 minus 2 should be equal to negative 37 if we solved correctly. Negative 7 times negative 5, negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. Negative 35 minus 2 is negative 37. So negative 37 equals negative 37, making our solution a good solution. 5 is the solution to the equation negative 7j minus 2 equals negative 37. Solve the equation negative 4.7 equals 0.5z minus 1.7. In order to solve the equation, we first can use the addition property of equality to get rid of the constant on the side with the variable, so I can add 1.7 to both sides of the equation. Negative 4.7 plus 1.7 leaves me with negative 3.0. So negative 3.0 equals 0.5z. The inverse of multiplication is division, so I can use the division property of equality to divide both sides by 0.5. Negative 3 divided by 0.5 gives me negative 6, so z equals negative 6. Solve the equation 3/4 x plus 2 equals 11. So first we have to get rid of the 2. The inverse of addition is subtraction. Subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, and we'll get 3/4 x equals 11 minus 2, which is 9. The inverse of multiplication is division, so I can use the division property of equality to divide both sides by 3/4, or I can use the multiplicative inverse and multiply by the reciprocal 4/3. If I multiply both sides of the equation by 4/3, I will get 1x equals 36 over 3, and 36 over 3 can be simplified to x equals 12. So remember, when we want to solve two-step equations, ax plus b equals c or ax minus b equals c, real-world situations can be solved using a variety of models. You can use pictures, algebra tiles, or equations. Our first step is going to be to eliminate the constant from the variable term by applying inverse operations of addition or subtraction to both sides of the equation. Our second step will be to isolate the variable by either dividing both sides by the equation by the coefficient, if it's an integer or a decimal, or multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient if it's a fraction. That was our lesson for today. Thank you for watching.